Welcome to another episode of FS Talk, guys. And today we have none other than the GE assistant coach Malav Rexdreams Popat with us. So, Malav, how are you doing today? And what has been going on with GE these days?
Thank you so much for having me. This is probably the first interview I've ever done, actually. Yeah, probably the first interview I've actually done. So thank you for interviewing me. Means a lot. I've been doing great. So the team's in Singapore, as everyone knows already, and we've just been having a few scrims going on. Right now, they're actually playing a scrim against a team I can't reveal. So yeah, we've been doing great in scrims, learning a lot from practice. So it's just that's going on. Just the teams in their own practice and stuff like that.
Amazing. So, I have a few questions. And, how did the team manage to bounce back from the lows that they seem to be having back when all the tournaments are online?
I think so. As a squad, I think after we won the Mumbai LAN, I think Skill said it that if it was any other team, the team would have disbanded by now. We wouldn't have stuck together. I think after our APAC LCQ run, the team there was obviously we weren't playing the same way that we wanted to play. We had a lot of disappointing results. Most notably, I think losing VCC2 was probably one of the biggest losses for me because I really wanted to defend my VCC title. I really wanted to win VCC thrice. I really wanted the three-peat. I think I've said this multiple times. So I think that was probably one of my biggest problems. Even after that, I think when we went to Plains, after coming back from Plains, we had a horrible run as a squad at Plains because we just weren't mentally there as a squad. But after that, I think it's just that with Eraser coming in, we started slowly rebuilding from scratch. You may have noticed we changed some roles around in terms of what the players were playing within the squad. And I think it's just that from there, we've been trying to build some synergy, trying to build something from scratch. I think it's been going a long way for us as a squad, and we've found a lot of success with it recently.
Right, so you just mentioned Eraser. So, how does it feel to have Eraser back on the GE squad? How has he made the difference that he has?
I think so. The biggest buff that Eraser provides is that since Eraser's all been a head coach in Valorant before this, he has past experience with a Dambo and a great team from the SEA region. I think he can do things that I can't do. I was brought onto the team more of an analyst role, and I am more related towards what happens in game, towards how we do execute stats and stuff like that, and strats and numbers and basically those are things. But there's obviously a lot more that goes on within the game over and above just what I could do, and Eraser was able to fill in a lot of those things that I couldn't do personally, and what I personally think I wasn't doing a good job of being a head coach. And Eraser's probably filled up that gap perfectly, and he's found the team. He's found his own purpose, and the team's found what they're fighting for, which is the master slot. So we're all aligned towards one goal, which I think helps us as a squad the most to we're looking for one thing. So yeah, just that
makes a lot of sense. So let's lighten up the mood a little bit. Dream SCA team according to you. List out the best 5-player combo according to you in the region, irrespective of their current rosters.
Okay, this is a little hard. Marco, Jing, Lenny. Now we need a sentinel player, and we need a duelist. Probably Forsaken for his duelist because he's probably one of the most insane duelist players. And for a sentinel player, I want to say Benkai, but I don't want to take too many PRX players because we just played a scrim against them, so I know what it feels like to play one yesterday. I think everyone more or less knows that now. Probably a sentinel player. Probably Pith, actually. Yeah, probably would take Pith. I think Pith's a great, and I think his experience is very valuable to a squad like this. So,
makes a lot of sense because we are seeing PaperX perform so well in all these events, and even Masters Reykjavik dominated.
Top 4, yeah.
So apart from the team facing its ups and downs during the online era, one player was constantly brought into focus. What are your thoughts on Kappa bouncing back despite the hate that he had been receiving due to his inconsistent performance?
I think if you get that much, we always talk about how players from social media shouldn't get distracted, players shouldn't use social media, they're doing their job, they don't need to look at these things. But obviously it's going to play a role on you, or toll on you, as how much hate you get online, especially when it's from your own communities, from people. It's from people who are your biggest fans. This community is your biggest fans, the same people who are directly hating on you and asking for you to be replaced, which is probably one of the worst things that can happen to you. as a player. But I think as Kappa, as I think his years of experience of having competed at the highest level from CS in India, I think he used that a lot as advantage when he started he basically just thought, what more can I do for the team? And he started doing aim labs to work on himself mechanically, started doing so many things mechanically. So not many people know this, but I think almost every day Kappa would message me like, give me a word of a good Sova player, give me a word of a good this player, give me feedback, give me more lineups. He just had the hunger and the drive to improve more than anyone else in the region, I think. And that's just what works out for him, and you can see how well he's doing. The fruits of his hard work, he can see them right now, and I'm really, really happy for him. I couldn't have been happier for anyone else.
Indeed, I mean, seeing him bounce back on the souvenir land, it was amazing,
Oh yeah, definitely. Land
Yep.
demon for sure.
Yep. Okay. Thoughts on G's most recent player pickup, Kohli. What was it about him that made him stand out, and what was the thought process behind choosing him of all people?
So when we did the open tryouts, we really needed a new player because we were really unsure as to what's happening to Lightning Fast and his future within the squad, given his exams for the month. So we knew if we were in a position to. So Golu's exams could have either been during VCC or during APAC play-ins or playoffs or whatever groups or whatever we made to. So we needed a new player, a sixth regardless. So that's when we held the open tryouts for. We went through like 180 players and we finally decided on Kohli. But it's not a very easy choice to make for Kohli. We were obviously looking at for the top 15 of our tryouts from the phase 2, I think anyone could have been a good place for a squad. I think all of them were great players, and I still vouch for a lot of them on a daily basis. So the reason why we went for Kohli is, one, he's grinded the shit out of the game. Like, he's at level 600, level 700 or something in the game right now. Top 4 leaderboard in APAC, obviously, so he can play well. And when he was in scrims, his comms were excellent. His ability to give ideas within the squad were amazing. His timing was insane. He could play a variety of roles, and his clutch gene was also at an absolute high. So these 5 factors really made Kohli I think a complete player, and I think that's why he's the best pick for the squad. And I think he's really going to be great in the future when you can see him in the active lineup when we will try and play somewhere. He's definitely not going to be a bench form, I can promise you that much.
Oh, okay, perfect. Because I would love to see him in action, to be honest. And at the time he was in FS Esports.
FS, yes, XFS boy, XFS boy.
Yes. Okay, so what's the mental preparation that goes into a big tournament coming up, such as the SCS or the VCT APAC qualifiers going on right now?
So with mental prep, it's honestly just more or less that it's basic stuff, right? It's like you don't give up, you don't think you're going to lose, you try to remove all negativity from your mind, basically. But I think a lot of mental prep doesn't go on before the tournament, because before the tournament, there's not much you need to look at in terms of mentally, because, it's all right. Every team comes with the same mentality, that's to win. No one comes to I want to come second place, I want to come third place. Everyone's competing for the number 1 slot. So I think when the most mental prep I think we would do is more or less during timeouts or on game day. And the only thing you need to tell the team is champion mentality, which is obviously something they've always kept their mind. Okay, we're champions, we've played so well in the sub region, we just need to keep reminding ourselves of that. And it's just a lot of that also comes through individual player stuff. So yeah, it's really important, because in some cases it can become really hard to hold your mentality. And I think one of the cases of that would have been against Enigma when we lost from 12-5, but I think the team did really, really well to hold on to the mentality from there.
Okay, yep, that is very true. Having trying to keep your own mental peace while you're actually playing the game, it's very important.
Yeah.
Yep. So, if you were to predict Valorant's next patch, what do you think it would have? What kind of agent changes or map changes would you like to see?
A chamber nerf, a killjoy buff, a change to Cypher, a change to Phoenix, and the new map, obviously, that's been leaked. A new agent, if there was going to be one. Probably someone with I think one of the leaks was a riot shield. If you guys have played 1.6, the tactical shield we used to have on pistol rounds. Yeah. I think something like that, in the older versions of CS, that could be pretty cool in a game like Valorant, I think.
Yeah, it would actually make a ton of differences, because if you were actually playing on the Ascent, for example, you would get into the A site and the door's already broken, and then you can place your riot shield and move on.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, that's a good one. Yep. Okay, so SK Rossi recently revealed that G had been on a social media break during the entirety of the SCS event. How effective do you think this was, and in what way do you think it helped?
Oh, I think if you're competing at the highest level, so I'll give it to, it's very important to be on social media. I think my experience with social media had been really bad on the APAC lanes times. So I realized I was using social media a lot. I was really addicted to my phone. So I think one of the things that I personally started doing was I started setting timers on my phone as to how much Instagram, Twitter I would allow myself to look at in a particular day. And it's usually around 20-30 minutes in total. So I think that really helps me to like not look at things, not look at negativity. And in general, social media is just a bad thing. And I think the team really likes that. Another example, I think not example, right, from the top, from a better team, right, is like I think Cloud9, my favorite organization from coming from CS. They recently released like a video, and towards the end of the video, like when they're going towards to like the finals, right, they win the semifinals at IM Dallas. If you were to follow that event, their coach tells them that when you guys go to sleep, don't look at Instagram, don't look at any social media, because it's gonna get to your head. So even if you're winning, he asks them like not don't look at social media because it's gonna get to your head. Like he says, like speak to your relatives, speak to your wives, speak to girlfriends, whatever, but just don't look at social media. That's the basic thing that he tells them, and I think that's really important and something that I've learned a lot, because social media, like for your own brand, can be the best thing ever, but can be the worst thing ever when you're down. And I think I've experienced both sides of it, so I think it's just my experience is that you just limit your time and just live it. That's all.
Yep, indeed, because we have seen the GE brand build up, but then again, the negativity that comes up when
Yeah,
you're
definitely.
losing. Yep.
Mhm.
All right. So, best all-round Valorant player according to you, irrespective of region or roster. All round.
Best all-round Valorant player, regardless of the region or roster, probably has to be one of the Optic players. I really like Marved, but I think like if you're talking about like but I really think like I think I would definitely go for like Marved over here. I think he's one of my favorite players. I just like
Alright.
the way he plays.
All right, and to sum it all up, what would you like to say to the fans of global esports out there? What do we have in store for them?
I thank you all for the support. For me personally, I've received a lot of love from the community, and thank you for supporting the team and staying with us during our darkest phases. I really hope this APAC event would do much better than we did previously. That's exactly what we're here to prove. We're here to prove that we can play with the top dogs of SEA. We can play with the better teams in SEA, and that's the only thing I want to say. And yeah, just keep supporting us.
Amazing. Okay, thank you for joining me, Malav, and
No worries.
we will see you in the next episode.
Thank you so much.